So we have passengers or mock passengers in this case going through the system to help us illustrate the self-service screening prototype. This is kind of the unveiling of that system. And so what you're seeing is passengers walking up, divesting their property, putting it through the actual computed tomography system, and then going into our advanced imaging technology before they are cleared and making their way back to their property on the other side.
That's the Deputy Assistant Administrator of the TSA. You know, that TSA? The security theater troupe that makes an entire country wander around in their socks before getting on a flight because some guy tried to blow up a plane with his shoes more than 20 years ago. Well, thanks to a prototype by the TSA and the Department of Homeland Security's Science and Technology Directorate, some passengers are getting the chance to try out a new self-service screening system, where instead of having an agent bark at you for the audacity of having worn a belt, an officer on a video monitor will offer up step-by-step instructions on how to carry out a security screening by yourself at your own pace. This is all going down at Las Vegas's Harry Reid International Airport, the airport where someone just won $1 million in a slot machine like that guy at the end of Ocean's 13. And it should come as no surprise that the major transport hub of Sin City is willing to roll the dice on something like this. Here's the Undersecretary of Homeland Security.
Finding airports that are willing to do this. Well, Las Vegas is unique. The innovation center here is really nationally important because there is willingness from the airport authority, from TSA here, to want the next thing.
This new checkpoint prototype just opened up to travelers this week. And after going through a successful self-guided screening process, automated exit doors then open up and allow passengers to enter the airport, to shop at convenience stores named after cable TV stations. The TSA says they want this process to allow passengers to be able to self-resolve alarm information and ultimately reduce instances where pat-downs or secondary screenings are necessary.
So the big goal really for us is to learn as much as we can to think about what do the checkpoints of the future look like. Over the last couple of years, there's been a large push, and we've noticed that passengers are looking for something that they can complete the screening process on their own with minimal interaction with TSOs. And with the growing passenger volumes, we're also looking at how can we reallocate officers to the busier aspects of the checkpoint. And we're hoping that this system's going to inform a lot of those decisions.
Now, you might have every right to be skeptical about self-service here. After all, everyone from Walmart to Costco is cutting back on things like self-checkouts, as they're often unreliable, slow, and impersonal. One could say those qualities are the very same hallmarks of our nation's fine Transportation Security Administration. But here at this test checkpoint, it's all in the name of innovation. And besides, this thing is only open right now to people who have already signed up for TSA PreCheck, who in theory should already know how to make their way through a checkpoint, though anecdotally, in practice, they don't.
If we break the system, that's kind of what happens with innovation. If we break it, there's a checkpoint directly above us with 13 lanes where passengers are able to be processed, so we're not really interrupting the local operations.
The TSA says the data collected from the cameras used here don't save any biometrics, audio, or video. And this entire thing is built to collect passenger feedback and information to help them decide whether it's worth widely rolling out a new system like this. But considering how awful air travel has been lately, with a recent analysis by the consumer watchdog Public Interest Research Group finding that complaints against airlines just hit record highs last year due to canceled and delayed flights, a lack of refunds, and damaged baggage and damaged wheelchairs, anything that gets passengers through the airport faster so they can wait in another absurd line, so they can chew on crackers and get drunk in the Delta Lounge before finding out their flight's been canceled, nevertheless still sounds like a welcome change. Here's another guy with the TSA.
The appearance of the system is a very important part of the passenger experience, and when they approach, we want it to be welcoming, we don't want it to be intimidating, and the goal is to have each step be intuitive. So when they bring their bags into the carry-on bin, there's an opportunity for them to talk to a real officer if they need to. If they don't, that's fine. And then they move through the passenger screening system with those entry-exit doors. It's supposed to be kind of intuitive. Oh yeah, I can understand this. Door opened, I enter, I passed, I exit, I grab my bags, I go straight to the gate.